Welcome back to True Crime Documentary YouTube channel. How well do you really know your family? What if everything you believed about them was a lie? Rachel Turner thought she had the perfect life, a loving husband and daughter. But behind closed doors, dark secrets were brewing. What would you do if those closest to you were plotting against you? In this shocking true crime story, we'll uncover the terrifying truth that led to a deadly confrontation. Are you ready to find out? This is the story of Rachel Turner, a woman whose seemingly perfect family life in a small Tennessee town crumbled into chaos when she uncovered a truth so horrifying it left her questioning everything she thought she knew. Rachel Turner was a wife and mother living in Maplewood, Tennessee, a picturesque, quiet town where everyone knew everyone else and gossip never traveled far. To anyone looking in, the Turners were the ideal family. Adam Turner, Rachel's husband, was the owner of a successful restaurant in town, a well-known and well-liked man who could always be found with a smile and a helping hand. Emma, Rachel's 19-year-old daughter from a previous marriage, was a bright college student with a promising future. Rachel and Adam had been married for several years, and though Adam was Emma's stepfather, he treated her as his own. They were the perfect blended family, or so Rachel thought. It was small at first, the kind of things you might overlook when life seems so steady. Adam started working late more often than usual, always claiming there was extra work at the restaurant. Rachel didn't think much of it at first. Owning a business came with long hours, and Adam had always been dedicated to making his restaurant the best it could be. But something about Emma began to change as well. Rachel had always been close to her daughter. They shared everything, laughs, stories, even secrets. But in recent months, Emma had grown distant, shutting herself away in her room and avoiding any real conversation. She spent long nights out of the house, offering Rachel vague excuses when asked about her whereabouts. When Rachel tried to bring up her concerns with Adam, he was quick to dismiss them. "She's 19, he would say. "She's figuring out life. Let her be." But Rachel couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. Adam's protectiveness over Emma seemed more intense than necessary, more like he was shielding her from something rather than guiding her. There were moments when their interactions felt too close, as if they were sharing secrets that didn't belong to Rachel. One night, everything changed. It was late, and Rachel was home alone while Adam claimed to be working late at the restaurant again. Emma hadn't been home for hours, which was becoming more and more common. As Rachel tidied up Emma's room, she found something that made her stomach lurch. Hidden among Emma's books were several folded pieces of paper. They weren't written by Emma. Rachel knew the handwriting. She had seen it every day for years. Adam. Her hands shook as she unfolded the notes. The words inside were intimate, disturbingly so. "You make me feel alive," one note read. Another said, "You're the only one who understands me." Rachel's mind reeled. Why was Adam writing these things to Emma? Her breath quickened, her thoughts spiraling. Could it be a misunderstanding? Could there be another explanation? But deep down, she knew there wasn't. For days, Rachel lived in a fog of confusion and dread. She couldn't confront them, not yet. Not until she had more answers. But as the days passed, her suspicions grew harder to ignore. The way Adam and Emma interacted with each other, the glances they exchanged when they thought she wasn't looking. It all added up to something Rachel didn't want to believe. She became hyper-aware of their every movement. Adam had always been an attentive stepfather, but now his protectiveness over Emma felt wrong. Emma's increasing distance from her mother only confirmed Rachel's growing fear that something dark was unfolding in her own home. Unable to bear the uncertainty any longer, Rachel decided to investigate. Late one night, when Adam believed she was asleep, she followed him. Her heart pounded in her chest as she watched him slip into Emma's bedroom, closing the door behind him. Rachel stood frozen outside the door, her breath shallow as she pressed her ear against it. Inside she heard muffled voices, Adam's deep voice, low and urgent. Then Emma's, a whisper that sent chills down Rachel's spine. "We can't let anyone find out. They'll never understand," Emma said, her voice shaking. Rachel's world shattered. She pulled back from the door, her mind racing. What were they hiding? What had happened to her family? She couldn't confront them now, not until she had proof. Her heart was breaking, but she couldn't let them know what she had heard. Not yet. The next few days were agonizing. Rachel barely slept, consumed by her suspicions. She watched them more closely than ever, feeling like a stranger in her own home. Adam and Emma acted as if nothing had changed, but Rachel saw through their facade. The tension between them was palpable, their secretive conversations filled with hidden meanings. One evening, while Adam was working late again, Rachel made her move. She sat down at his computer and typed in the password. Her birthday. It worked. She scrolled through his files, her hands shaking as she searched for something, anything, that could confirm her fears. And then she found it. A hidden folder, buried deep in the hard drive, protected by a second password. After several guesses, she cracked the code. What she found inside changed everything. Photos, videos, messages, all of them proof of an ongoing affair between Adam and Emma. But this wasn't just an affair. It was something far worse. Adam had been manipulating Emma, using his role as her stepfather to control and exploit her. The images showed Emma not just as a victim, but a willing participant. In some of the videos, she was even directing their encounters. Rachel couldn't believe what she was seeing. The betrayal was more than she could handle. The man she loved, the man she had trusted, had been preying on her daughter for who knows how long. And Emma, her sweet, innocent daughter, had been a part of it. For days, Rachel was in a state of shock. She didn't know what to do or how to react. She wanted to run, to grab Emma and flee from the nightmare that had consumed her life. But how could she save her daughter when Emma wasn't just a victim? She was an accomplice. Rachel's mind was torn between protecting Emma and confronting Adam. She needed to understand how her family had fallen apart. When she finally gathered the courage to confront Emma, the truth she uncovered was far worse than she had imagined. "Emma, we need to leave," Rachel pleaded. "Adam is dangerous. He's manipulating you. We have to get away." But Emma didn't react the way Rachel had hoped. Instead of fear or sadness, Emma laughed. "You don't get it, do you?" Emma said, her voice cold and emotionless. "I'm not the one being manipulated. I've been in control this whole time." Rachel felt the world tilt beneath her. What Emma was saying didn't make sense. Adam had manipulated her, hadn't he? "You thought I was the victim," Emma continued, her eyes locking onto Rachel's with an icy stare. "But I'm the one who's been controlling Adam. He does what I tell him to do. I've been planning this for a long time." The words hit Rachel like a punch to the gut. Her daughter, the girl she had raised and protected, had orchestrated the entire nightmare. Emma had been manipulating both Adam and Rachel from the start, using Adam to gain control over their lives and destroy Rachel. Rachel couldn't breathe. The realization hit her like a tidal wave. She had lost both her husband and her daughter, and now she was trapped in a house with two people who wanted her gone. Over the next few days, the tension in the house grew unbearable. Adam and Emma moved as though they were in complete control, and Rachel could feel their eyes on her every time she entered a room. She was no longer a wife or a mother. She was an obstacle in their twisted plan. She knew they were plotting to get rid of her, but how? And when? The answer came one night when Adam suggested a family drive, just the three of them. He said they needed to talk, to work things out. Rachel knew better. She saw the look in Emma's eyes, the quiet understanding between her and Adam. They weren't planning to resolve anything. They were planning to end it. As they drove down a deserted road, Rachel's heart raced. She knew this was the moment. Adam pulled the car over to the side of the road, and for a split second, everything was still. Then, without warning, Adam lunged at her. Rachel fought back, adrenaline surging through her body. In the struggle, Adam lost his balance and fell, his head hitting a jagged rock on the ground. The impact was fatal. Rachel stood there, breathless, staring down at the lifeless body of the man she had once loved. But before she could process what had happened, Emma sprang into action. With chilling efficiency, she began to stage the scene, making it look like Rachel had killed Adam in a fit of rage. When the police arrived, Emma played the role of the grieving daughter perfectly. She told them how her mother had grown jealous of her relationship with Adam, how Rachel had snapped and attacked him. Rachel was arrested, too stunned to fight back. Emma had manipulated everything, but as the investigation unfolded, detectives found Emma's diary, filled with detailed plans of how she had orchestrated everything, from manipulating Adam to framing her mother. The truth finally came to light. Emma had been pulling the strings all along, turning her family into pawns in her twisted game. Emma was arrested for conspiracy to commit murder, and Rachel was cleared of all charges. But the damage had been done. Rachel's life was in ruins. She had lost her family, her sense of security, and everything she thought she knew. Months later, after moving away to try and start over, Rachel received a letter in the mail. It contained just a few words. "You thought you knew the whole truth. That was just the beginning." Rachel's heart raced as she read the words. The nightmare wasn't over. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Be sure to check out our other videos for more captivating stories. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.